Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning. It's Friday, the 8th of March, and I've still got some coffee left over from the guys, condensed milk coffee from this morning. I want to show you from Romans 8, verse 33, 34, 35, three questions that I want you to take in and think about and ponder this weekend. The first question is in verse 33, who will bring charges or who will bring accusations against God's elect? God is the one who justifies. Second question, who is the one who condemns? Christ Jesus is he who died, but rather was raised, who is at the right hand of God, who also intercedes for us. Who will separate us from the love of Christ? And then it goes on and gives a list. But I want to ask those three questions. Who can bring an accusation against you? Who can condemn you? And who can separate you from the love of God? Because you see, you and I, we bring accusations against ourselves and one another. Jesus Christ is the one who has the right to condemn us because he died in our place, took on our sin. He who was sinless became sin, our sin, for us and died in our place. But it says he who has the right to condemn because he took our punishment. He stood in our place. He's the one who says, you messed up, but I have to pay. Is the one who intercedes on our behalf. Can anyone else bring an accusation or a charge against us? Well, those who do have to face God. And God justifies every accusation brought because of what Jesus Christ has done. And not even he who has the right to condemn us condemns us. So who can separate us? At the end of the day, what this is saying is nothing can separate us because God has already made the way open through Jesus Christ for us to be restored, reconciled to him. Jesus Christ is the only one in heaven, on earth, and below the earth who can bring an accusation against us that will stick, that hasn't been paid for, if I can put it that way. But he doesn't. He intercedes. So the only thing that can separate you and me from the love of God and from relationship with God and able to do life is us ourselves. We can choose to nullify all that God and Jesus has done by exercising the free will that God gave us and rejecting all that he's done, already done for us. And yet, you and I we still try to justify ourselves. God justifies us in the work of Jesus Christ. And yet we still think if I'm nice to my neighbor, if I go to church, if I pay my tithe, if I read my Bible, those are all things that flow out of justification. Those are not things that earn or deserve to be justified. And so the reason why we do it is what we get wrong. And in persisting in doing the wrong thing or doing the right thing with the wrong motive, we drive a wedge and drive ourselves away from what by faith God has already made available to us. We need to exercise faith. And then out of that faith, do the good works. But the good works don't justify and don't make up. We can't fill up an account. We can't put enough money into that account to write off the debt that we owe to God and Jesus. Think about that and accept the release, accept the freedom that comes from knowing I am justified by God. I am not condemned by Jesus, and therefore nothing except myself can separate me from the love of God. I trust find you in a worship service this Lord's Day as you seek to gather with the saints and make God's name huge in your heart and give him the glory, the praise, and the honor that's due to him. See you Monday, Lord willing.